they have a hospital. This one here on your front of you on the right.
Don't have a hospital at all, huh?
That was one very bad. So this one is much better. It's not down there.
I thought he was talking about the horses. Oh, he's making it run.
Here at the on your right side here you see the school.
So is that just for boys?
It is for one for boys and one for girls. They smart, they can go to Cairo
Oh, okay.
continue their education. Well, they see the seats here on your right, they sit outside. Look at the temple here on your left here.
Oh, wow.
Here is the cemetery of the city here. You see on your right side here, the cemetery. Here is Greco-Roman. What does that mean?
Greek and Roman.
Greeks and Roman, they came here and they built us that temple. They actually Ptolemies, we call them Ptolemies. The Ptolemies, after Alexander the Great, defeated the Persians and saved us from the way they were treating us in a very bad way. So what happened that Alexander the Great, he could be able to set free Egypt from those people. And what happened that when he left Egypt to the Ptolemies. The Ptolemies, they ruled Egypt after Alexander the Great for almost 300 years. So what happened that those people, they stayed in Egypt. Those Ptolemies, they stayed in Egypt and they became Egyptians. So they didn't go back to Greece. No, they stayed in Egypt and they became part of this society. So what happened that they wanted to convince the Egyptians that they are citizens like them, and they are Egyptians. So they came here to every Greco-Roman temple and leaving this room. This room, it is called Mamizi. Mamizi. What is the Mamizi word? With this word Mamizi?
Like mother.
Mom. Who is Mom? Mom, she is the goddess Isis, and the goddess Isis, she was the mother of all the Egyptians. So by this way, they were very smart in order to take this kind of story and convince the Egyptians they are part of the Egyptian society because they born from Isis. So you could see the scene here. Can you see the babies on her lap? Can you see the middle row?
Yeah.
The damage here was made by the Christians. The Christians at the beginning of the Christianity, they came here and they chiseled all the figures. Could you see the chiseling? It is all the figures, as you see, were damaged by the Christians at the beginning of that religion. So anyway, this kind of Mamizi, or this place, they, by this kind, how many babies do you see there? The two babies, can you see that?
Yeah.
The two babies, actually one, because actually what they have here in Egypt, there was a kind of belief that you always have a baby with a double of the baby. So they born two. One is unseen, live with you all your life. Once this double leaves you, what happened to you? You die, yes. So this is actually the double, and the double was called Ka. And when they die, they believe they will come back in another life. So the spirit will go through the cemetery and entering the body, and the person will be up again for another life. And this kind of bird with human head is called the Ba. The Ba was the one will enter your body and you will be up again for another life. So everyone was having Ka during life, Ba after death. This is why they put two figures, not only one. So this Mamizi, this place, was a must for every Greco-Roman temple in order to convince the Egyptians that they are part of this Egyptian society and they became Egyptians. So this is why they welcomed and they became part of the Egyptian society. This room is very, very important for this new community, the Greeks and the Romans.
They developed their own language.
Okay?
They developed their own language, and languages mixed.
Well, actually, the language was used here. It was, yes, the Egyptian and the Greek. So what happened that actually the Egyptians started using the Greek language. Because, when they were writing the Bible, so they didn't like the hieroglyphics. Look at this hieroglyphic here. Can you see that penis? So that is not nice. To write the Bible with this kind of language? No. So what happened, it was excellent for Egyptians to find another society, Greeks, having a different kind of alphabet. So they decided not to write the Bible with this hieroglyphic, which is the language of those people. So they said, no, we will use those Greeks' language to write our Bible. Okay, let's go this way.
Anybody want a picture of the penis?
I'm trying
to get past.
unbelievable the details of the figures and how perfect this one still in very good condition. Even this mud bricks, it is original fence around the temple. Can you see the mud bricks? Kodak moment. Kodak moment. All of this is ancient, a part of the temple to have a sort of fence to secure the. You guys come this way. 18. We have Horus.
Oh yeah, Horus.
You know, remember in Luxor we had Amun Ra. This one here is called Horus. Horus, he was. Okay. Over here, over here, 80. Take a picture with Horus. Horus represented by the falcon. The falcon was the representing this great god Horus.
Go ahead, Tyrone.
Good chance for you, everybody, to have a picture with Horus.
Okay.
Can you see the double crown above his head? Because he was the king of the land, upper and lower Egypt. So that is the combination between the crown of upper and the crown of lower together in one. Horus was the god of this temple, and I will tell you the story how Horus became the god of this one. Okay. Okay, you done? Come inside. Everybody, please. Come inside. En su aspecto, encima puedes como imágenes preparar el suelo, el color.
De niño la comida normal y corriente, pero de mayor estudiando la historia, sabiendo que
Watch this guy.
Come over here, 18. Come closer here, get closer. Yes, please. Listen, everybody. This temple is the most well-preserved temple in Egypt. All the elements of the temple is complete. It's amazing that this temple, it is in that beautiful condition. It was discovered by a great Egyptologist, French guy called Mariette. We honor him, this guy. He is called the father of all the Egyptologists came here in Egypt. So he was a great man, and he could be able to discover us this one. This temple by Mariette, and it was very early, about a couple of centuries. That was what happened, and this guy was there and left to us this beautiful temple with all of the elements, starting by the gate to the open court. This one here, it's called the open court, and the hypostyle hall, the first one, and the second hypostyle hall, the room of the altar, and the holy of the holies, complete. So those people studying the design of the ancient Egyptian temple, they must come here to Edfu to see this temple and to know that this is the ideal design of the Egyptian temple. Starting by the gate, the open court, the hypostyle hall, the second hypostyle hall, and then the room of the altar, and the last one is the Holy of the Holies. Mark, would you repeat this again? The design, the elements of the design.
Yeah, so you have the entry, the open court, the court to the Holy of Holies.
Yes, excellent. So this is the way that this is complete, and we are lucky to have one of the temples with this way. And anyway, the people, they come here, the people, the public, they come to this room, open air. So they were not allowed to go inside the inner side of the temple. They come here and they pray to the god Horus, and they leave. They will not allow it to go inside the inner side of the temple, and was dedicated only for the priest and maybe the king. So anyway, this is exactly the design of the ancient Egyptian temples. All what we saw there, they exactly the same like this one. Anyway, Greco-Roman again. When we say Greco-Roman, it is 200 years before Christ till another 200 years after Christ. It's about 400 years, the history of this temple here. And it was dedicated for Horus. Horus, who was the son of Osiris, and mother was Isis. What happened that you know the story of this evil one who killed his brother and put him in the coffin, and throwing the coffin in the river Nile. And anyway, they brought the coffin, the evil ones, and cutting the body in pieces. 17 pieces. And then Isis with her son Horus, she told her son, your uncle killed your father, and go for revenge, go for the goodness and not badness. So anyway, she taught her son how to be good, how to be nice with the people, and he came to his uncle, and he got rid of him the evil. This is the wisdom of the story, that Osiris was the guy, was the father, Horus was the son, and Isis, she was the mother of all the Egyptians. So here is what happened, that Horus, he could be able to be the king of the land, and he ruled Egypt, and he became the good one for all the pharaohs. He was an ideal one. All the pharaohs, they said, we are successors of Horus. So this is actually, it's a great honor to be successors of Horus, the god who gives this goodness for all the people. Okay, so anyway, this is a great kind of temple, and we admire Mariette, who discovered this temple. This temple was under sand. You don't believe it. It was all this kind of gate, and then all of this was under sand. He made a good job. to remove all this sand and to give us the access to the temple. So we are honoring him so much. His name is Mariette, French Egyptologist. We always mention to these people because they made a lot for Egypt. And he made a great kind of way to make them safe. And he had a house. He went to the king of Egypt at that time and he asked him to make a museum for all of these beautiful pieces. So they built a museum. It is in an old museum, much better than this new one in Cairo. So anyway, we are honoring him and we call him father of all the Egyptologists. His name is Mariette, French Egyptologist. Okay, this way, come inside.
Comme un tableau, c'est ça? Les 4 noms et l'artisan, il a bien dessiné la première part. C'est comme un tableau.
I'm inside this way.
Ooh, be careful.
They came here and they were using a shelter, this temple by the people of the village, and they started making food and all of this kind of stuff. Soot went up to the sea. Come over here, listen everybody. This is called hypostyle hole. What is the meaning of this word? Hypostyle. It's a Greek word, means a room with a roof. So if it is roof, they call it hypostyle. Yeah. Okay, anyway, this is the first hypostyle hole. There is another one, and then we will complete the rest. Anyway, look at the scene on the wall. Can you see the scene on the wall? Here, get closer, get closer. This one. She is a goddess. She is a goddess. Can you see the leopard skin on her body? Can you see the leopard skin? Can you see the star above her head? Can you see the hammer in her hand? Can you see the king in front of her with another hammer? What they do? She is the one guiding the king where to dig for building the temple. She was responsible about this kind of way to guide all the Egyptian kings where to go for a sacred land above which they will start building the temple, and she was called Sishat. Sishat, here you can see, they are working together to mark the 4 corners of that piece of land above which they will start building the temple. Come this way. What is that? Look at this. This one. K-L-I-O-P-A-D. Mouth is like a R, and the vulture is A. K. That is the cartouche. That is the cartouche of who? Cleopatra, exactly, Cleopatra. This is the cartouche of Cleopatra, and you see the name of this beautiful lady, Cleopatra. But actually, they call her Cleopatra. This, can you see the hand here? The hand here is D, not T. We changed the name from Cleopatra to actually the original is Cleopatra. This way. Listen, guys. When we go to the room of the altar, we'll see that those Egyptians, they never ever sacrificing human beings to gods. Never ever. When you go see in this kind of food, you see all of kinds of food and maybe meat and maybe, but never ever human, never. Look at this. Can you see the king here? What he's doing? Can you see his legs? He is jogging. And they had a feast. Uppet, it is called. The Uppet feast, it was for every king, every 30 years. They have to find out if the king is still in good shape. Because if the king is not in good shape, they refuse him. And this is human. You know, if you have a president and that president is not strong enough, so they kick him away. I don't want to say Biden. No. Anyway, remember Yeltsin, that Russian one, when he starts shaking, the people said, no, go to hell. It's like this. So, you know, the human beings, they don't accept anyone ruling them having any kind of sickness. So what they do, kind of test, taking this boy and this king to this open area and letting him go with an ox running behind. If the ox catching the king is kaput, not anymore. But anyway,
how often do they have the test again?
30 years, every 30 years. You know, they stay long. Anyway, what happened here, that this is a fake, was never ever having the people to see this. The priest taking the king and get an old ox and saying, go. They have a different twisting and listen, guys, listen. Every smart king must take the side of the priest, and the priest will give him the honor and will give him all the trust of the people. So every smart king must take this kind of the side of the priest, and by this way he will take the side of the people, because the people, they trusted the priest, and the priest would get this kind of guy and select a very weak ox, and then he will go out to the people, because the people waiting for the result. He would come out and tell them, king is great, accept him for another 30 years. Yeah? Okay. This way. Can you see the holes there? The flags, symbols of the city and the god. Can you see the holes there? Can you see?
Yeah, I see it.
Look at the ceiling.
Intact.
Okay, look at this. Can you see the ceiling here? Can you see the original windows of this room? The second height style home. Anyway, you can see here this kind of black. That is because the people of the village, they used to have this kind of shelter in the desert and be here for a while, and they could do some cooking. And this kind of soot would go up and make this kind of color of the sea. Come this way. are here, everybody. This way. Look what you see here. It's wonderful details. Can you see this?
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable. What do they do here? Can you see them here? Carrying the boat on shoulders. Remember?
Yeah.
Carrying the boat on shoulders, and they walk around the temple rooms every day to do this kind of existence of the God in all of the temple corners. And by this way, they secure the temple from any bad spirits. So here you could see they are doing this kind of ceremony and carrying the boat on shoulders. Can you see the priests with the bald heads?
Yeah.
See that? This is who? Who is this? That is the king. That is the king. Can you see the crown on his head?
Yeah.
The crown on his head is the war crown. It's very tight on his head. Why it is very tight? Exactly. To have it on while he is fighting the enemies. So it was very important, this kind of crown. And listen, why they come here in the time of the battle and fighting and all of this? Because they come here and this is the time to pray. This is the time to go to the temple. This is the time to get the support of the God. Like what we do today. When we have a very big problem, what is the church? It's like this. So it is exactly the same. They come here for having this kind of support of the God. And this is here you could see with beautiful kind. Look at the details of the leopard. Can you see the skin of the leopard?
Yeah.
The tails of the seal, and you could see the fans. Can you see the fans? Those in the back, they are carrying fans. Can you see the fans?
Yeah.
And they are fanning the God inside, above the head of the king. There is the image of the God, and by this way, they are actually having a very daily ceremony to make all of these big people come here and celebrate and also pray to the God and try to save the king from the enemies by praying inside the temple before going to the battle and winning the battle. Okay? This way. This is the room of the altar. They have the food here. Can you see the food? Can you see the key of the Horus? And here, Khonom, another god. And they are eating. Can you see the bread? Come closer here. Can you see the bread? Look behind you. Can you see also another table with a lot of food? Excuse me. Can you see this? Can you see the geese here? Can you see lotus? Can you see the lotus?
Yeah.
When you are giving food for anyone, you decorate this beautiful tray. So very important for people to eat with the decoration of the food. So by this way, you open the appetite of the people, you give them the food. Yeah. So it is really very nice to have this kind of scene of all of this. You know, they were actually expecting the people to bring a lot of food. And by the name of Horus, they give it to the poor. So the priest making this kind of way to give the people the food by the name of the god, and the god always behind all of these kind of givings. Come this way.
Just straight. This is the shape of the stairs here. Go round to the right, this is up, and the one facing down.
This way. Go for a picture. The Holy of the Holies. Go inside. Get close. Get close.
No se ve nada, que no puedo.
Okay. Oh, excuse me.
He came here and he was an artist. He made us a very nice copy of what the people carrying on shoulders, that kind of boat here.
But what's in the back?
In the back, the real one. The real one was not Maria. The other one was they have this figure of the god inside that kind of Christ. Okay. Anyway, the Holy of the Holies is the last piece of the design, and it is having a beautiful kind of the images of the god, and they are leaving here the boat. Like what you see there, made by Mariette. Mariette was an artist leaving us the boat here. Also, he wrote us Opera Aida. Opera Aida. He was a great artist and also a writer. His name was Mariette. This man is a great one, and he made a lot of beautiful things in our country. Okay, come this way, everybody. Come inside, this way. There are 10 rooms around the Holy of the Holies for all the offerings and any kind of people like to give the God. They have it here with each one. It has a certain kind of object, so you could see them are 10 around the Holy of the Holies. Come this way.
Oh, yes, that. Oh.
You guys come inside this room here. Horus, you see him always having the head of the falcon. Can you see Horus? You see with the crown of Upper and Lower Egypt. Can you see that? So So he was the god, the king of the land. Nice one. So here you could see, well, look at this one. What is this? Can you see this one here with the body of a woman? Why? Horus is a woman? No. Horus was not a woman. But listen, the artist here, he wanted to show us that Horus is goodness. And goodness inside us all, if we are men or women. So here you can see a woman here with the head of Horus, and by this way they are equal in worshipping the god Horus. Do you see the blue color for the god? Can you see the blue color? The details?
Yeah.
This room was completely decorated by all of these beautiful colors. But thank God that we still have some of the color. Brown color here for the king. Can you see behind him there? The brown color. It's really nice, well preserved this thing. You see the stars. Can you see the stars in the ceiling?
Yeah.
You know, we look up to see the stars, and Egyptians, they said all of the stars there, they are cousins and grandfathers and all of this. They died and they went up to the sky, lighting us the earth. Egyptians, they had a great kind of imagination. Yeah. Come this way.
Did they decorate the floors?
I'm sorry?
Did they decorate the floors also? I thought I saw her just on the floor. Did they decorate the floors?
No, not the floor. Not the floor. Okay, this way.
It's not, yeah, I fell with that. It's very inexpensive. Like $5 because a lot of
Yeah.
it's very cheap. So you can do it this afternoon. Yeah. And I just told the front desk and we went to pick it up right then.
Perché di solito fanno il fatto 991. Non si sa perché non sono 10, perché non sono 8. È rimasto sempre a 11 gradi. Per questo che riforma hanno considerato sempre il 9 i numeri. Per questo
le vacche perché gli davano il latte.
esattamente questa vacca è una sembianza della madre prende una sembianza. La riformata poi i bambini quando si nascono la prima cosa che mangiano
Oh, yes. Thank God for fresh air.
Over here, come inside this room.
Enjoying the breeze. Nice out there.
Look at the ceiling. Tell me what you see. Come inside the room here, everybody, and tell me what you see in the ceiling.
Stars, how are you?
Tell me what you see in the ceiling. What?
More color in here.
I see a glow.
Yes? Yes. Yes. Tell them. Show them her body. Yeah. Can you see? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see the feet, that corner? Can you see the hands, that corner? Can you see her head here and see her breast? Here you see? She is a woman arching her body over us. She was called the goddess Nut. the goddess of the sky. Egyptians, they were having this kind of imagination, and they believe that there is the sky here, and that kind of semicircle of the sky, they said that it's like a woman, and she is arching herself to hug us all and protect us. So that they had a beautiful imagination about everything around them, even the sky. And as I told you also, they have all of the stars, and the stars were considered like the people enlightening us the earth. This room was made especially for the baby Horus. So they get the baby Horus in his birthday, which is like 2-3 days before the New Year. What we say today, Christmas.
Okay.
A very great similarity between this kind of ancient Egyptian mythology and what we have in Christianity. Okay? This one, let's go. Come this way.
A ver, acérquense por favor.
Nu se poate ieși?
Noi andiamo a destra. Seguite il cammellino, andiamo a destra.
Siamo rimasti un po'.
Destra vostra, destra, destra,
Each time we can go.
It was proved that the laser could damage the stone in pieces. And all of the government people, they understand this fact, and they just leave it.
Por eso llegan los señores, los dioses, señores, que tienen miedo de pasar algo a los dioses.
Holy cow.
You want to use a couple of
Yeah, that whole structure is all intact pretty much. And this was built as an open court, so.
Ready? We have the two cobras and the sun in between. Yeah, Ra. And the cobra was called Wajid. Wajid. Yeah, and she was representing Upper Egypt and actually protecting the gate of the temple here to have the two cobras between them. You can see around. They mix gods together. That's why. صنع أحد القساوسة
Yes. Excuse us.
This way, 80. All here. Go back to the bus. Okay. Todos a que le den.
I really like it. We're out of toilet paper. That's right. We can kind of fill that. Oh, yeah. Wow.
He tenido miedo a la marcha.
All around the temple, all of the special mud bread.
You done?
No.
Okay.
Well, it's just, this is last time.
You can take me.
Very difficult to see them.
Yeah, it's hard.
You just point in the direction of the But if you just point in this direction, I'll stand in front. Just move it.
I don't know.
Press the white button.
The white one?
The white circle.
It's hard to see it.
You see?
Yeah. Oh, I see it now. Yeah, go ahead. Quick.
Okay.
Yeah, got one. There you go.
You made it.
Yeah. Which had to
Okay,
probably go in your
80.
settings and right now.
80 this way.
But it's super dark. See, like here you can see. See, in yours you can't hardly see. And you don't even have a screen projector on here, right? So, somewhere you have to find where the settings and go to the brightness. When we get to the room, we're going to look at that.
I'm in the shade. Everybody please, I'm trying to sit down here. Okay. Get closer please, get closer. This was a city called by Kom Ombo. Kom Ombo was very nice location, occupying one of the bends of the River Nile. Beautiful here, and it's very wide, the River Nile here. And the city was very rich, and the city was having a lot of markets, and they were having a lot of wealth, and they were having a beautiful kind of life. What happened that in the Ptolemaic period, the Ptolemies, they came all the way here, and they found the location here good to be an army unit. So what happened, they made an army unit here, and by this way the city started to decline. They started losing that kind of market and all of this kind of wealth. So Egyptians, when they have a disaster, they create a story. The story here, two brothers. One was good and one was bad. The good one was called Horus, and the bad one was called what? We had the bad one actually was called Sobek here. The bad one here was called Sobek. Sobek was represented by the crocodile. So the crocodile was the bad one, and Horus was the good one. And this kind of story telling us that Horus was ruling the country, ruling this place, and the people, they loved him so much. And the jealous one, his brother, he wanted to take his place. So what he did, he exiled his good brother and he took his place. The people, they didn't like that. The people, they loved Horus and not Sobek. So what happened? That the evil one exiled his brother to way outside the city, and the people, because they loved Horus, they went behind him in his exile, and they left Sobek alone. Sobek, he found himself alone, and he wanted to survive. He wanted to farm the land. So he used his magic, called upon the dead to come and help him in farming the land. And he did, and they obeyed him, and they came here. But it seems that the dead people, being enthused for a while, they forgot how to farm the land. And instead of putting seeds, they put sand and turning the place into a desert.
Wow.
And by this way, the place was disastered and having this kind of problem, and the people ignored, left this place, and it was nobody lived here after this kind of disaster. And actually, what they discovered under the floor of this temple, they found ashes. So it seems that the city ended by a big fire, and that was a tragedy for such a beautiful city. And this temple was built to show us this kind of problem. One for Horus and one for Sobek. The good one is Horus, the bad one is Sobek. The good one, as you know him, Horus, he was represented by the falcon, and the bad one here represented by the crocodile. Okay, this one.
Hey, look, Quincy, he kept telling me about the crocodile. He said, "Man, be careful about the Egypt crocs." And I said, "What?" I didn't know what he was talking about. So I'm going to have him explain, you know.
It was, even he was bad. Listen, Egyptians, they worship the good one and the bad one. They worship the good one to take his goodness, and they worship the bad one to avoid his evilness. Okay? Anyway, this is the crocodile. Can you see the crocodile here? Yeah. So the crocodile here, there was a live crocodile inside the temple. When it dies, the priest would go and jump in the river Nile and bring another one after the other. So they had a big, large cemetery of the crocodiles. They actually embodied them like people because they were gods. They were gods. So he was the god Sobek. So what happened? That the Egyptian government, they were paving the road between Kom Ombo and Aswan, and all of a sudden they found that large cemetery with a lot of mummies of the crocodiles, and immediately they decided to build a museum here to show how the crocodile was embalmed just like people. Anyway, you will see that after we finish. This way.
Yes, yes.
Watch out. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it turns itself down. So you got it on automatic. So you have to go in your settings. My stuff will do that too. You just take it off of automatic and set you on. Sure, since you gotta do it.
Mind this, please. Mind the lamplight.
Can you see the cartouche written above their heads? Yeah. And look at the god Horus. The god Horus, he gives the sword. Can you see the sword? To the king to get rid of the evil people. So what happened here? That they get this kind of sword. Can you see the sword? It is curved one. Can you see the sword? Looks like pointed. Anyway, this kind of sword, how they use it? They stab the enemy and they go like this and back. And by this way, they make a big hole, allow the air to go inside the body and cause a very fast way of death. Actually, a very merciful way of death. The person would die fast, not to suffer. Look at the king here in between the two gods, and they are watering him. Can you see he's in between two gods? And they are watering him. This is what they call purification ceremony. So when they come here to pray to the god, they have to be washed by this sacred water, and by this way they are ready to use the temple and to do the prayer. So you could see, no, this is Horus and the hut. The hut, the ibis. You see, this, the hut here, this is his job. And here you can see Horus, and you see, look at their legs, and you see they are higher than the king. And by this way they can put the water above the head and to the rest of the body, and by this way the body is completely clean and ready for any prayer. Okay?
Whose cartouche is this everyone's touches?
Cleopatra. Cleopatra. And listen guys, Cleopatra number 7. She was the famous one. She made this great kind of glory for Egypt and killed herself for the sake of the country. Yeah, she was Cleopatra number 7. Okay? This way. Come this way, everybody. You remember this goddess we saw this morning in the other temple?
Yeah.
She was called Seshat. Can you see her body covered with the leopard skin? Can you see the leopard skin?
Yeah.
Can you see this kind of something like something to use and to guide the king? She is called Seshat, and Seshat, she is a goddess guiding the king to know which piece of land did they start digging in order to build the temple. So she thought she is helping the king with this hammer in hand, and they are hammering this kind of 4 corners of that piece of land above which they will start building the temple. So must be Seshat guiding the kings to do this kind of job. Come this way. All the rooms of the temple here, they were having doors. Can you see the doors and the hinges of the door? Can you see that? And all the rooms are in a very straight axis line. And from here you can see the water of the river Nile, and if you go to the Nile you will see the last room of the temple, which is called the last room of the temple. Holy of Holies. Exactly. Holy of Holies. Yeah.
What is it?
Holy of the Holies.
Holies of the Holies. Holy of the
Anyway,
Holies.
this is you see all of these doors, they were cedar inlaid with gold and silver and semi-precious stones. That's why all these rooms were robbed. No one stayed. All of them, they were taken by those robbers, they came here and they used them because the value of each one, they were cedar covered with gold and silver and semi-precious stones. Come this way. Look at the color. All the temple rooms, they were having the same colors. Can you see the color here? Look up. You see the color? Unbelievable that the temple wall was covered with this color. You come inside the Holy of the Holies here?
No, go.
Listen guys, this is the Holy of the Holies, and it is always having this base of a stone. You know what they do with this kind of stone? Do you know why they have this kind of big piece of a stone here? You have the bolt on. Remember the bolt?
Oh yeah.
They put it here and with the image of the god inside, and they carry it on shoulders, and they walk around the temple rooms every day to spread the blessing of the god and to keep the evil spirits away from the place. That was a daily ceremony they used to do.
What about the crocodile one around here? They're a little bit worried about the crocodile.
The crocodile, as I mentioned to you, was a god. So he was worshipped here. Even he was an evil one. But as I mentioned, they worship the good one and the bad one as well.
I'm carrying that boat around here. I'm wondering where that crocodile is.
Well, anyway, we have actually, listen, we have two rooms for the two gods. This one for Horus, the other one for Sobek. Okay, this way. You guys come this way. Look at this here. What do you see there? What do you see here? What is this here? What is this here?
Oh, that's that.
Yeah, here.
Oh.
Can you see?
That looks like a hand, like fingers.
That's a nose. Can you see? Yeah.
Oh.
And she is arching her body this way. She is the goddess Nut, the goddess of the sky. Can you see here? Can you see? This is Nut, another one here. Can you see inside her body? Can you see her breast? Can you see her chin here? And here, so you see this is she is swallowing the sun and give birth to the moon to create the day and night. So the people they worship the goddess Nut. She was the goddess of the sky. And actually Egyptians, they look at the sky and they see this beautiful sky, and they worship the sky goddess. She was called the Nut, and she was arching her body and hugging us all. She was Nut, the goddess of the sky. Egyptians, they had a great kind of imagination. Everything around them, they decorated, and the stars, they were like kings and people died before. So by this way, they had a beautiful kind of life, and they were enjoying it so much. This way. What you see here? Can you see all these holes here?
Yeah.
You see them here too? you see the holes?
Yeah.
Why they are actually one in between two blocks, every one. So you could see this one here. It is in between this one and this one. Here again, see this one?
Yeah.
This hole here, in between this one and this one. So this is the way to hold the stones to each other.
Yeah, I was right.
Yeah. So they have another one will come over here with a projection here to put it here, and by this way they hold the two together. And if you look at them from a distance, you see them in a zigzag way. If you look at anyone here, you could see they are in a zigzag way, and that zigzag way making them holding each other, like the pyramids were having this way. If you look at them from a distance, you see them in a zigzag way. If they are in a straight way, they could fall. But the Egyptian put them in that zigzag way. By this way, they hold them together.
Okay. Yeah, just like those carpentry biscuits. Like those carpentry biscuits that you use to hold wood together. Yeah. That same.
Let's come over here. This corridor running down and turning left.
Is it going to the Nile River?
It goes to something like that, but you know, it's at a well. Can you see the well here? Look at the well. Can you see the well here? Oh, that round one. Oh, okay. Starting from here, the priest would go and go to any level to see how high the water every year. The flood of the river Nile used to come all the way to here, so they go down and see how high every year. Why they do that?
Make sure they have enough water.
To know if you have a lot of water, then the flood was very rich and giving the farmers a lot of water, so they will have a lot of crops, and they will have a lot of money. So the priest is the one taxing them.
Yeah, how much money he's gonna get?
No money.
So the priest, imagine the priest was having this kind of policy that he is the one putting this kind of how much to tax the people, and by this way it shows how powerful was the priest. Yeah, come to see this kind of well.
See how your tax rate.
You're right. That's right.
Guys, take a picture.
Oh, no. Dug it and encased it in stone. Okay.
So if they don't have a good
I don't know where it ends.
water,
It's down there. You can see the
taxes will be so they were rolling the taxes.
Probably not an active well anymore.
No, I doubt it. My assumption is that now it's a long ways over your storage.
Yeah.
They were very bad. There between the entry we did today and the tower, there is actually, you can see photographs of that. got this kind of huge piece of stone. Look at the temple. Look at the temple. Those pieces, they taken from the ceiling. Could you imagine? Over 30 tons each, carried all the way to the top. Yeah. You know how they did that? With these ramps. Exactly.
Yeah, those
with
mud
ramps.
and mud
Exactly.
ramps.
With the ramps, they do that until they took all of this up there until they finished, and then they added the beautiful color and also the artwork, because it was done at the end. They didn't take the risk of making the artwork at the beginning, so they waited until they finished the building, and then they go all the way up and they started adding the beautiful colors and the figures like the king and the god. If you like to take a picture between the two gods here, Sobek the crocodile, and Horus, the good one, the falcon.
Yeah.
You want to take a picture?
Yes.
Okay. Go
Yeah.
There is one here too.
Okay, I'll take one.
This one is clearer. This one is clearer. So come here. Come to this one. It's much better.
Ready? Oh. You ready?
Yes, you know what
Okay,
happened?
I
That
took
they
two.
made a lot of empty cartouches,
No, I'm full.
and they expecting a lot of the visitors, kings, they will come and add their names. And it seems that the number of cartouches, empty ones, they were a lot, and the visitors, they were not that much people to fill their names inside. So you could find some of them are empty, but not to add your name. I would have They used to do that
Sure.
in the time before they started controlling this kind of business. Yeah. A lot of graffiti, yeah. Not anymore. You don't have this kind of problem.
Oh yeah, this is a good shot there. Take two of them.
Before we came on vacation, my son asked me to get him a Horus something, anything. I'm so glad he has a Horus and not the other guy. I feel so happy
Anyone
about
want
that.
picture? Okay. Let's go to see the crocodile museum.
Right.
Inside here, they're still working here.
See you later, alligator.
it the crocodile just like people. So you go with the linen, wrapping the linen just exactly the same like they embalmed people. Go inside, please. Go inside.
Yes. Thank God for this. It brings up everything.
Oh, there they are. They can't even put a light in.
I guess they're on that tip one material. But my son kept telling me, we wear the cross. I didn't know what he was talking about. I thought he was talking about swimming in the night. Yeah. So I couldn't figure it out. Picture. Send it to me. Yeah. Yeah, these are the crocodiles. Preserved, yeah, be careful. Yeah, see, our eyes have to be adjusted to the dark. I didn't know what it was either. Yes. Yeah.